on social media, it almost looks like a different personality. They come off almost douchey.
Oh.
Like if they're on a boat, this is the pose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you know, they what's the
Yeah.
like, you know,
Right.
and I'm going like, I have a feeling.
Lucky Boys Podcast.
And he's traveling, and he quit the 9 to 5, and I'm going, all right, man, I'm inspired. And then there's another guy goes, I hate this motherfucker. Because of him, I'm not happy. Yo, fuck this guy. Who does he think the audacity, you motherfucker. Do you know, you're supposed to be in a damn suit, just as miserable as me. You're supposed to be at home watching Netflix, doing nothing, being as miserable as me, just going through videos online, and that's it. And being comfortable and eating whatever you want to eat and not working out. Like, what the fuck? I hate this guy. Now I'm sad. Thanks for ruining my day. I'm pretty extreme there.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm just saying,
No,
those are the two
I'd rather
thoughts.
be the other guy.
Actually, you know
But
what?
there's a lot of, I think the majority is the other guy, the glass half full. But I would say maybe 20-30%, and this is totally unscientific, but it's just what I see coming in. It's hate.
But
It exists. It's the
You know,
yin and yang.
that's the luxury of our generation. Because if you think about our parents' generation, they didn't have someone that they're like jealous like that. Like our parents didn't go like, look at this Asian guy on Instagram, I'm jealous of him. Like they just
No,
had
they
to
did it
work
differently.
hard.
They did it differently. Come to my
just
house.
wanna-
Let me show you this new TV
my
I
pal-
got.
my
Hate
palace.
me.
Like-
Look at my kids' accomplishment. They went to Harvard. What's your kid doing? They did it differently, though. They did it.
So it's just like,
definitely
you know,
differently.
it's a human nature thing. Like we all have to deal with it differently in different generations and in different ways. And you know, if you think Asian influencers on in that spotlight because of that, then think about it in the way of like white people have been dealing with that for years. Then you know they've had white people on the big screen for years. I'm sure there's a ton of people in depression because of, oh, look at this, look at that.
Look at this movie star.
Right.
How come I can't?
I'm just gonna keep doing what I do best and still trying to reach my next ceiling and keep raising my ceiling. Like I can't let that deter me, right? But on the other hand, yes, like the Instagram posts are always obviously like well done, but my stories, I'm super like casual in my stories. Like I in my stories, I show like I'm working out, I'm eating like home cooked healthy food. Like it's not always fancy, whatever. Like I show like it takes work and time.
Oh, I want to ask, how do you find that balance of presenting value? Because there's a fine line between presenting value, like, hey, look, check this out, guys.
Right.
It's a cool spot. Or, hey, if you can't really understand what textures and what colors to mix and match, well, here it is, guys. It's kind of cool. Or, hey, look at this spot I am in this vacation spot. It's kind of cool. And then you pin where you are, right?
Yeah.
Versus, hey, look at this condo I'm in. Look at this high-rise apartment. Hey, look at this new high-end label.
Yeah.
Pretty damn cool. You can't have it, bitch. This is 1 out of 3, and I got one of them, motherfucker.
Okay.
Oh, check out this cool car.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Check out these girls. Ha ha ha.
Oh, it's like what's the difference between flexing and just
How do you draw that distinction where people go, all right, this guy's presenting value and he's cool, versus, wow, this guy's a real douchebag.
Yeah. So I think because of my
Because you've seen those posts.
Yeah.
Everyone has some
yeah.
body they know that posts like that.
I think as a immigrant with humble background, I don't flex the expensive stuff, the fancy stuff. It just is. I wear it. I don't go, look at this $1,000 jacket. I don't. I just wear it.
You don't highlight it. You don't
No.
put a big spotlight.
If people are like, oh, what are you wearing? Then I tell them. And even then, if I first tell them, I'm like, there's cheaper options. You don't have to get this one. Because that's the reality.
that's
of
the
it.
value, right?
Yeah.
That's the value you're giving.
Right.
That you can look expensive, but necessarily like
You don't have to
you know,
get
spend
this.
that amount of money.
But I think that's an art within itself.
Yeah.
To present yourself clean, high fashion,
Yeah.
Luxury items, high-rise condos,
Right.
everything, and at the same time come off kind of humble, like I'm helping you,
Yeah.
and not, hey, I'm a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
It's an art.
I didn't.
really
I didn't
is.
go.
Nice.
Hey guys, come to my fancy rooftop. I'm like, no, yeah, you can come here.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let it speak for itself. I let my stuff, my substance, speak for itself. And just to be more transparent here, brands and PR marketing people, they work with influencers all the time. They notice all of that stuff. They notice when I can just calm and just be. It's the subtle effect. It's the subtle flex.
Mm-hmm.
It's the humbleness that's like, no, you don't need to do
that's
that.
confidence.
But they know they can see what you're wearing. They can look at your outfit. Like that's what it is. That's human nature. You look and you look at what they're wearing. So if you notice what they're wearing, if it's something drawing your attention, that it is what it is. You don't need to go like, hey guys, like this fancy thing, yo. Like no, I never do that. If anything, it's just like I thank the brands that give me that stuff.
You know what I love? So I have a few friends, and they're doing well for themselves, and they want to let the whole world know.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting when I watch them do it, and they're good people. They're nice, but on social media, it almost looks like a different personality. They come off almost douchey.
Oh.
Like if they're on a boat, this is the pose,
Yeah. Yeah.
or you know they what's the
Yeah.
like, you know,
Right.
and I'm going like, I have a feeling maybe a few years down the line when they look at their photos, they're gonna and they mature a little bit, right?
Yep.
They go, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? Because there are some things, even myself, right? I look back at my teenage years, I'm like, oh no, what were you
Yeah.
thinking? And I think that's kind of cool though, because that means that personally I grew. Right, because
Yeah.
if I'm going,
You're still doing that.
still doing the same thing as a kid, then and I still think it's cool, then I'm pretty outdated myself.
Uh-huh.
But this day and age, seeing some of my friends do it, I'm like, how do I tell them without hurting their feelings, and how do I tell them without seeming like a hater? Because I'm not. I have my own.
Yeah.
And I'm doing just fine. And then also, how do I tell them without them going, you know what, fuck you, Will. You know, because the ego is gonna come in and talk to them.
Well, but then like, where?
But I don't. I'm not super close to them, so I don't.
So
and,
then that number one, you already can.
but I want to tell them like, dude, you know how you're making yourself look? Like it looks crazy. It looks crazy. With the
But-
girls and with the example I was telling you
Yeah.
before. It's like it's the opposite. Like it's real life examples. I
Right.
know he's with the girl and he's just like. He's got his girlfriend that's not Asian, and he's just holding her like, kind of showing off like, look, I'm dating outside my race, and I'm an Asian guy, man.
Yeah.
And he's holding, and I'm, it's just I could show you.
cringy.
I could show you a few photos
Okay.
after this.
Right.
And do you know who I'm talking
know who
about?
you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about? And I could show you a few photos after
Yeah.
this, and you would go, ooh, man.
Yeah.
And he has it like that though. Like everything that he's showing, he
Yeah.
actually has. It's not BS. It's not rental.
Yeah.
BS. Like
But
it's ownership. It's things that he actually
Right.
has his real life actually, but it comes off. It's just really douchey. And he's not a douchey person.
Well,
He's
this
a nice
is
guy.
interesting. This is interesting. So since you know all that,
Yeah.
does it come off as like being a hater? Like because we know this, like he has this, he's showing
No,
off
then-
like that, but is it a but we know that this is real, but it's presented in a way that looks a little douchey.
That's actually like in that perspective, you're coming off from a good place, because you're like, hey, I know you're personal, you're a great guy, but you look like a completely different person on Instagram. So like, but I don't know. Maybe if you're close enough, I hope you can get a little deeper with that. Like maybe that is the purpose of what he's trying to post.
Or maybe that's the
To make-
representation.
It looks like, hey, look what
That
I
person's going
have.
for.
Be jealous of me,
Yeah.
right? And I think when you do something like that, I mean, it's your prerogative. You do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But when you do something like that consistently, it could kind of look to other people like you're like not pleasant to be around. You're just a braggadocious person that's really full of himself. And that person, no matter who you are, is never fun to hang out with. Never. If they're
So
trying
he's-
to just show you their stuff all the time,
Right.
it's
But he's not like that in person.
no, man. But it comes off like that. And in person, dude, if any problems, anything like that, he'd always try to figure something out for you. He'll help you go into like a think tank and go, all right, this is how you can solve it. Like
Yeah.
he's a good dude, right? He's not flaky. If he says he's going to do something, he'll do it. But the social media representation, if you don't know him that well, you never
Right.
had a good dialogue with him and intimately,
Yeah.
you would go, ugh.
Yeah, if you don't know him behind the scenes.
I think
Yeah.
if you think it's helpful to have that healthy conversation, then yes. But if not, I mean, that to me is also. I'm trying to think in his perspective. It's like, if I'm not gonna get new friends anyway, what does it matter what it looks like to other people? If I have my good
it's like
group
it's
of
like
friends,
the audience is that he's trying to display this to. It's not us. It's
okay,
it's other people, right?
I mean, it's weird because what he has, it's for real. Like
Yeah.
what he shows, it's for real.
Right.
And what people I know that are influencers, quote unquote, they don't got it like that, man. They're not really traveling like that. They
Yeah.
don't really have those type of cars. They don't really have those type of watches.
Yeah.
They don't really have those type of anything. I
Yeah.
know where they're and they ain't really. And Norm, we know this too about this person. Like this person is not even happy, and they're always super happy on social media, trying to tell other people how to be happy. You know, so I know,
Yeah.
but they come off really awesome on social media. Like awesome. This person has like hundreds of thousands of followers, and I know this person personally.
yeah,
And she's not happy, man. She is miserable. She is.
damn,
She's just not as happy as she comes off. She's
yeah,
very. She has a lot of
It's
personal
like
issues.
Yeah.
total opposite of.
Total opposite. Norm, you know
Yeah.
who I'm talking about, right? But then she on social media, she's a rock star.
wow,
She's an absolute rock star. She looks like she has her whole life together,
Yeah.
and she's super happy. But in real life, it's quite the opposite. Her life is a train wreck.
that's the whole personal journey. A lot of influencer friends I know as well is like that.
Lucky Boys Podcast.